Welcome back, hunters, to another episode of Helix's Wild Hunts. Now, before we begin, I want to thank WolfyMelon for letting me use some of her amazing Monster Hunter piano compositions for this video. Definitely check her out, the channel link will be in the description below. Now, I know it's been some time since I last saw you guys, and I do want to apologize that I didn't give you a heads up of what was going on. I had to take a break from Monster Hunter Online just for a bit. There were a lot of design choices before the most recent patch that I was not a big fan of, and it really burnt me out from the game, especially the endgame content. I did try to let you guys know on my social media that I was taking a little break from Monster Hunter Online, but if you guys didn't see those comments, I do apologize. I think I should have made a more obvious notification to let you guys know what was going on, so I do apologize for that. Well, now that I'm back, there's quite a bit of changes. And actually for the positive. Many of the mechanics that I was not very fond of, or things that you had to do in this game to unlock certain things, have been completely taken out. The game is now a bit of a different beast. First of all, say goodbye to my weapon skills and talents guide that I made a while back. You don't need to worry about that anymore. That is completely gone, out the window. Say goodbye, you will not be missed. Now, everything is unlocked for all weapons, so all your weapon attacks are completely available from the moment you unlock a weapon that you'd like to try out. If you hit the H button now, it'll bring up a bit of a different menu. Only 2 tabs are available now. The first tab is actually something amazing that they've introduced to the game. Something very similar to Monster Hunter Generations. Obviously not as varied though in terms of how many special abilities are available to be unlocked, but it does give some more flexibility and it does add some flair to this game. Ultra attacks have been completely replaced. Much like Generations, you get to pick 3 different special abilities. 2 of these abilities are now dodge-style abilities, so one allows you to do a dodge evade without your weapon equipped, and I believe the other one allows you to do the dodge and then equip your weapon immediately after. So if you're looking to close the gap while dodging an attack and then have your weapon ready, unsheathed, this will allow you to do that and start attacking the monster right away. The other 2 attacks are special attacks, so depending on the weapon that you have, they're all going to be different, and I'm probably going to do a quick video to showcase all of these attacks since there's so many new attacks now, and they are all very cool looking. My recommendation is equip 2 of the special attacks and have 1 evade attack. The other last one that looks almost like a swirly, glowy thingamajig. Remember Awakening when I talked to you guys about that, unlocking it? I think that's completely gone as well. You have that ability available right from the get-go. However, it takes 3 minutes to charge before you can use it. Probably avoid equipping that one. Apparently the damage to weight ratio of you using that is not worthwhile compared to having 2 special attacks instead. Other big thing, no more hunting caps. That means you don't have to worry about reaching those limits per day. Thank God. I know some people were a little bit upset about that feature being included in the first place. That is completely gone now. You don't have to worry about any limits to your hunting. You can just go to town and fight as many monsters as possible. Now, along with all the new changes and all the new equipment that's been introduced, there is a new level cap requirement for that, and that is level 115, though I'm not sure if it does go higher than that. I think I've seen people with higher numbers than that, but that might have been HR rank. Again, I'm not too sure. Now, speaking of levels, there are a lot of different events and things that have been changed so that it makes it very easy to catch up, especially if you're lower ranked or lower leveled. Let's just say that when I first picked up the game, again, I was at, I think, around level 95 if I recall. In about 2 days, I managed to hit level 105, so it's not hard at all to level up again in this game. Now, a big change that they've done to this game that I'm very, very happy about is that you no longer need to run to each zone to go to a specific gate to fight monsters. You just have to hit N now on the keyboard, and it will bring up this menu that shows you every single hunt that's available that you've unlocked up to your level cap. This also includes the HR Elite version hunts as well. I believe there's a tab at the top that lets you pick that, and also lets you select your dailies from as well. So if you're looking to do specific capture quests or hunting quests for certain monsters that'll give you more money, Zenny, gold and silver Zenny, then you have that available at the very top right-hand corner of this menu. And if you're in a party and you select this menu as well, you'll be able to start hunting with your group right away. So it is amazing. It is so handy. I'm so glad they introduced this. As much as I like going between different zones in the game because some of the hubs look really nice, it was a pain trying to find the gate that you wanted to hunt specific monsters from. So thank you, Tencent. This is awesome. Another quick thing about zones that they've introduced, which is really handy, is the M button. Allows you to fast travel between every single hub. Especially if you've gotten to the end game where I'm at right now, you kind of recognize these zones already. So if you remember where you were at those points, then you'll kind of get an idea where those specific areas are, or what NPCs are available there, which most of the areas will have the same NPCs for the most part, so just be aware of that. But it is really handy. With the last patch, they introduced a new beach hub. This is actually where most of the new story quests are going to be leading you to, especially with fighting the new monsters. I definitely recommend doing the story quests just to keep up to date, because a lot of the new events that are happening around the game right now as well require you to have everything unlocked. So if you don't have a certain thing unlocked, you're going to be in for a bad time. Make sure that you have everything unlocked as quick as possible, which honestly does not take a long time if you're going through the story quests. Now, another big change! Hitting F7 is now going to open up a new menu called, and I believe this is what my friends on my guild have mentioned, it's called the Soul Stone. I think it's a Soul Stone. If that is incorrect, please let me know, please correct me. It's linked to your character that boosts the stats of all your weapons, no matter which one you're using. So you'll start collecting these white crystal things, and I think there's also red ones as well. I'm not too sure what each of them do yet, and where you can specifically get all of them. I'll probably touch on that in a different video once I figure it out. I believe you get them from different events. I know you got a bunch of presents if you haven't been online for a while, and I think that it was also included with the patch for you to start updating and upgrading your character's weapons and equipment. I'm not 100% sure yet, guys. If you have more information about this, please let me know in the comments. It really does help me out when trying to figure this out. But anyway, this applies to all your weapons. So no matter what weapon you decide to try out in the game, this will start updating or upgrading all your weapons, no matter which one you're equipped. So this carries over into everything, and it's actually very handy. So that'll be something that I'll be working on, or working towards, as I keep playing the game. I keep getting those little crystal shards, so I think it takes there's a gauge at the top there that fills up every time that you get a certain amount. Then you can actually upgrade. I don't know. I believe that's the way it works. Now, of course, the primary reason that we're all here is the monsters. There's been a few different monsters that have been added into the game, and what's exciting about some of these monster additions is that it seems that Tencent's starting to slowly get access to some of the third generation monsters, which means there's a possibility of a lot of really cool monsters that are going to be coming soon. So I'm very excited. Just to list off a few that have already been introduced, there's Zinogre, which came in, which I'm super happy about. That's again one of the things that's indicating to me that they're going to start introducing a lot more monsters from the other games instead of just Freedom Unite. Barioth just got recently added in, variants to the Australian and also to the Shogun Centaur. I don't know what the names are. I think the Australian is the Arbiter Australian. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. Next week, Deviljo is coming to the game, and there's a very shitty video released that I saw online that the frames per second were terrible. Hopefully I can show you this cinematic when it does pop up in the game for me at a much smoother frame rate. The big giant angry pickle is coming to the game, and I'm either very terrified or very excited, because I loved fighting Deviljo in all the other games, so we're definitely going to be covering that once it comes out. Last but not least, and I'm sure you probably saw it in some of the video clips that I've been using here, Switch Axe was introduced. If you've been watching my Portable Third streams that I've been doing recently, between the time that I stopped playing Monster Hunter Online and on Saturdays, which I usually do, I've been using it non-stop since I patched the game, and I absolutely love how the Switch Axe feels and plays in Monster Hunter Online. They've added some new animations to the character attacks, which makes it look more dynamic. There's a lot of like arcing swipes that you see for I think every weapon has this now, and it looks incredible. It adds a lot of flair to the game. So yeah, you'll be seeing me using this a lot more, and I'll talk a little bit more in depth in a future episode. I keep talking about that. I just wanted to get you guys all caught up with all the major changes that have happened since the last time I made a video for you. Woo! Well, hopefully that wraps up everything. I'm sure I've missed a few things. There's a lot of different things that have changed in the game, all for the better in my opinion. It makes it a lot more exciting and easier to play. If anything, now is the best time to get into Monster Hunter Online, and you can have fun with lots of English players, because there are a lot of players that are still playing online, which is fantastic. Please remember to drop a like or comment. As always, I always love reading your comments, guys, and remember to subscribe if you haven't already, just to be notified of whenever my new videos are coming out. And another reason for that is that I've been streaming Monster Hunter Portable Third on the weekends, so if you're not getting enough Monster Hunter fill from these videos, please drop in on Saturdays, usually around 1 p.m. Eastern time. Unless something happens or changes, I will notify you on my social media that if I'm streaming or not. I always stream for 3 hours at least, sometimes 4 hours, Monster Hunter Portable 3rd, and it's a fun way to have you guys come in and chat with me, so we can always talk about Monster Hunter Online or anything in general. As always, I wish you all happy hunting, and I'll see you all on the next level.